here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Fourth and goal to go with the 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Is the Giants roster better than last year? Well, I was drinking the Kool-Aid last year. I drank the Kool-Aid the year before that. And every year I'm like, yeah, better. Sure. Oh, yeah, we got to win 10 games. We have to win at least 11. Yeah. So I keep basically every year, yeah, we're better than we were last year. Yeah, our roster's better. Yeah. The thing is that, just say we're not. But, I mean, we only won 3 games last year. I mean, it's hard to go undefeated. Hard. It's almost just as hard to go winless. I mean, the football gods up there. It's 17 games, soon to be 18 games, right? Because it's all about the Benjamins. How much money can we make? Yeah, right. I mean, in 17 games, I mean, sooner or later, the football gods up there are gonna let's throw them a bone. You know what I mean? It's tough to lose. So even if the Giants get decimated by injuries again, I hope they don't. It's hard to really stink. I mean, really, and it's a tough league and all that stuff. And the Giants have a tough schedule. I get that and all, but I couldn't even imagine what would have to go wrong for the Giants to only win 2 games this year. You know what I mean? I'd have to be the starting quarterback or something like that. I couldn't even imagine what the hell would have to go wrong for us to take a step back. Could you imagine? Oh, my goodness. So it's from ESPN. The Giants' 2025 roster is in better shape than last year. So they go over basically pretty much position by position group, right? So they basically talk about the quarterbacks from last year, right? Obviously Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, Tommy Chicken Cutler Parmesan. Now they got Wilson, Winston, Dart, and DeVito, right? Wilson has a significantly better resume than Jones does and is a day one starter. Winston brings more starting experience as a backup. But the biggest difference is the Giants seemingly have a quarterback of the future on the roster in Dart. So they say the quarterback position is better than it was last season. Running back. Now, obviously, if we're talking last year compared to the year before that, the running back group would be worse. Why? Because we don't have Saquon. But last year we had Tyrone, we had Devin, Singletary, Eric Gray, and Turbo Miller, right? Well, basically, we got all the same freaking guys, right? We got Tracy, we got Singletary, we got Gray, we got Turbo Miller, and we got Skattebo, right? So Tracy should be even better in the second season. It goes back to what I was talking about before. It's kind of like we sucked last year. Why do we still have the same players in offense? Right? I mean, you look at the offense, it's like we got the same freaking guys, except for quarterback, right? Right? Almost the same offensive line, the same wide receivers. We got the same tight end. We got the same running back. Everybody's the same. Right? But they say Tracy should be even better in the second season, which is true. It's true. And the Giants added Skattebo in the 4th round. Skattebo brings the physical style that we're looking for as a complement to Tracy and Singletary. He also brings an ability to catch the ball out of the backfield and block and throw too, right? So they said the running back group is better than it was last year. Wide receiver group. Now, once again, right? I mean, right? Last year we had Neighbors, we had Slayton, we had Wandale Robinson, we had Jalen Hyatt, and we had Allen Robinson. Let's not forget him. But this year we got Neighbors, we got Slayton, we got Robinson, we got Hyatt. Right? Hey. But they also put in Little Jordan Humphrey. So instead of Allen Robinson, now we have Little Jordan Humphrey, right? So not much has changed here as the top at the top after re-signing Slayton. Basically, the top four, it's the same top four as we had last year, right? Last year we had Neighbors, Robinson, Slayton, Hyatt. This year we have Neighbors, Robinson, Slayton, and Hyatt. The hope is that the talent will show with better quarterback play. Clay still has them ranked middle of the road as a group. Yeah. But, basically what they have here is they're saying, obviously, that the wide receiver group is the same as it was last year. It didn't get worse, but it didn't get better. The tight end group, but it's the same group, right? We got Bellinger last year. Theo Johnson, Manhurst. We had Stahl, right? But we also brought, at the end of last season, we brought in Dulcich too, right? This year we got Bellinger, we got Johnson, we got Manhurst, we got Dulcich. So basically, like last year, we had where we had Stahl, right? Now we got him Fedoni. So, if anything, I'm kind of excited about seeing Fedoni, right? Hopefully that guy can stay healthy. He had some issues with staying healthy in college, but I know his RAS score was off the freaking charts. And the guy's like 6'6". Man, talking about length. Wow. The top of the depth chart looks the same. Fedoni was a 7th-round selection this year. It's still considered a bottom half of the league unit. Yes, it is. Yep. For the Giants, unless Johnson blossoms in the second season. The team is extremely high on his prospects, but it's the same. Basically, it's the same unit as it was last year, so it didn't get any worse. The offensive line, it's almost the same freaking offensive line as it was last year, right? Last year we had Andrew Thomas, John Runyon Jr., John Michael Schmitz, Greg Van Roten, and Jermaine Illuminor. All those guys are still on the roster. This year we got Thomas, Runyon, Schmitz, Van Roten, and Illuminor. Maybe Marcus Bowe takes over at tackle. Maybe Evan Neal wins the job at guard. But those guys, Neal was on the roster last year, right? So players were added as backups, James Hudson and Stone Forsythe, which doesn't change much, right? 5th-round rookie Marcus Bowe has potential. The hope is that this group, specifically Thomas, is healthier this season. If not, at least they have better backup plans. The offensive line is still somewhat of a concern. Yep, yes, it is. But the result, this unit is still the same as it was last year. It hasn't gotten worse. So as far as the offense, right, the offensive line is the same. The tight ends are the same. The wide receivers are the same. The quarterback play it might be a little bit better, especially because we have Wilson and Winston. And we have the hope, right, of Jackson Dart. And they said the running back group should be a little bit better. I'm very excited about seeing Cam on the field there, right? Right. So then they talk about the defensive line, right? Depth was a serious problem last year. The Giants addressed that in a major way this offseason, capping it by taking Alexander in 3rd round. Robertson, Harris, and Ledbetter should help their run-stopping woes. And also, let's not forget, right, a lot of guys from last year too, right? Elijah Chapman, right? Now, of course, some of what they're doing, they're also doing the defensive line. Now, some of these guys like Chauncey Golston could play in the defensive line as well. But they added Chauncey Golston to the outside linebacker group. But they're saying that the defensive line from this year is better than the one from last year. Right? The outside linebacker group is obviously better because they're putting Carter in there, right? Yeah. And Chauncey Golston. Right. Last year we had Burns, we had Kayvon, we had Aziz. Now Aziz can be very good, but Aziz obviously always has his injury issues. We had Boogie Basham last year and Toman Fox. This year we still have Toman Fox, but we had Chauncey Golston and Carter. Right? And of course we got Burns and Kayvon. So what they're saying, this might be the most improved group of the bunch. Carter, the number 3 overall pick this year, has the potential to be a star and make this a significant position of strength. So they're saying that the outside linebacker, edge rushers, outside linebackers, whatever you want to call them, this group is better. And you'll notice there's not one position group that got worse. which doesn't mean jack, SH, you know what. It all matters what you do on the field, right? But the inside linebacker group last year was Bobby Okereke, Micah McFadden, Darian Beavers, Darius Muasau, Deontay Johnson. I mean, we got the same. We got Okereke, we got McFadden, we got Muasau, we got Johnson. We don't have Beavers, right? But instead of Beavers, we brought in Board, okay? But now Board may not be super spectacular in the inside linebacker group, but he can be depth, but he's going to be very helpful on special teams, right? Giants are relying on a bounce back year from Okereke. So the result, this group is pretty much the same as it was last year, but it didn't get worse. Cornerback group. Last year we had Banks, we had Flott, Phillips, McLeod, Isaiah Simmons, David Long Jr. This year we added a Debo. Banks, Flott, Phillips, and Trey Hawkins III. The addition of a Debo should take some pressure off of Banks, who wasn't ready for the number one cornerback role. It also adds a veteran presence to the room. So saying that the cornerback group got better than last year. And, of course, the safety group last year, of course, the biggest thing here, last year we had Pinnock, who we don't have anymore. We brought in Holland. So last year we had Pinnock, we had Newman, we had Belton, and Jalen Mills, right? This year they said we got Holland, we got Newman, and we got Belton. And we'll have to wait and see, right, if we have a fourth safety, we'll have to wait and see who that winds up being. But Holland, who was signed as a free agent from the Dolphins, is an upgrade over Pinnock, which is true. Newman should improve in year 2, and Belton is a quality player. This looks to be a good group, and this group got even better than it did last year. So out of all these groups so far, it either stayed the same or the groups got better. And once again, doesn't mean anything what happens on the field, right? Every group can get worse, but if they win more games, right? Then they go to the special teams. Last year was Graham Gano and Scottish Hammer, Jamie Gillen. Oh, and then Gunnar Olszewski. This year we got Gano, we got Gillen, and we got Emir Smith-Marset. Right? They're saying the result of this is pretty much the same, right? Subbing out Olszewski for Smith-Marset, who both are pretty good returners. Yeah, Olszewski was a good returner for us. He just got injured and just never made it back into the lineup. Problem with his groin. I don't know what the hell he did to his groin, but he must have totally annihilated it. So they're saying here, that's a total of 11 position groups. 6 are better than they were at this time last year. 5 are the same. None are perceived as worse. 4 of the 5 defensive position groups have improved. 4 out of the 5. That should theoretically make the Giants a better team in 2025. Theoretically. Which they hope leads to more wins. You would hope. Seems pretty clear the Giants have a more talented roster. Yeah, on paper, Shane said after the draft, until we go out and do it, it doesn't matter. It's just on paper now, which is true. Considering we're in the on-paper portion of the NFL season, it's better than the alternative. At this point last year, it seemed obvious it was going to be a long season. They finished with 3 wins. At least this year, there is more realistic optimism. Clay, whoever that is, has the Giants' projected win total at 6.6 wins. So, which would be obviously twice as many wins as we had last year. So, I mean, to be truthful, once again, it don't mean nothing. Whatever happens on the field, right? That's all that matters, right? You can have the greatest roster in the world, but if you only win 4 or 5 games or whatever, don't mean jack. But I mean, to be fair, sorry, buddy. You go through each position group, pretty much a lot of guys brought back are the same, right? So, I mean, it's hard to say we got worse when you're bringing back the same players, right? And then, but through free agency, because we didn't lose really anybody humongous through free agency, right? But through bringing in some quality players in free agency, adding some depth, especially along the offensive line and the defensive line, and having another good draft, obviously the roster got better. But as always, You can have the greatest looking out roster in the whole world, but if you don't win any games, don't mean nothing.